But hey guys, welcome to Beginner Breakdowns. It's back, but with different faces. Up here on the top left, it's Jojo, and over there on the top right, I have Denzel. Me and Denzel have already watched this match. We took some notes, but we're not gonna go and analyze it just yet. We're gonna watch it first, so we can all watch it together for the first time. Well, for the first time. And then we'll go back and analyze it. We'll break it down, and we'll point out what we had on our notes, and we'll compare.
So
Start out with a lot of specials for moving around.
it's fine.
Bison has already slid a few times.
Big goofy skill to get by the like. A lot of jumps, a lot of buttons.
Yeah,
Not
lots of jumping. Lots of jumping.
The jumps aren't bad. The problem is they don't go anywhere. Oh, there's a good jump.
Yeah, that's a good jump. There, he tried the same thing. This time Bison met him in there. Yeah, try the same thing again. Same thing happened. And that's round one.
Can't be pressing buttons on jump ones.
No.
Round two. Fight.
That was a good block, but Bison came back around.
I'm trying to press slow buttons on plus frames there. Crazy button harassment from the dictator here.
Dictator's getting a lot of free pressure on just neutral jumps. We'll talk about that in a second.
A big thing that I noticed out of this here, he did not quick rise a single time. Every knockdown was just stay down on the ground. And you generally don't want to do this. It allows people to get free corner carry. They'll push you into the corner. And being in the corner is just bad news bears all around.
Especially against Bison, it's hard to not find yourself in the corner. Most of the time, you will be there against this character. So I want to talk about some stuff here at the beginning. A lot of just jumping and specials to move around. Here we see, you know, Bison both almost at the same time go into the air, and this accomplishes nothing. You're just back at full screen now. That Bison has already done sweep a couple times. He did it twice there while Vega was in the air, and he ended up in the same position. Now, if Vega had stood his ground and blocked, he could have easily catched that that sweep, which is incredibly unsafe.
Yeah, so you can see there's a bunch of mash light punches.
Yeah. And that's common of a new player who doesn't know when his turn is, but and this is true in almost all cases. But when you block a jumping attack, it's not your turn.
The concept of your turn versus their turn is basically if you block something and we say it's not your turn, or you're being told it's not your turn, it means if you press a button and the opponent who you blocked a normal from also presses a button, you're gonna get hit. So the idea of it's a sort of like an RPG and my turn, your turn. You block something from a certain situation, not your turn, don't do anything, or you're gonna have a bad time.
Here, Vega, Bison messed up. He went a little too far, and he ended up landing with his back against the wall. He's in the corner. Vega actually gets a hit off. This is pressure right here. Bison has to, you know, block, otherwise he's just going to get another jab or, you know, whatever else comes. What happens here that, and a lot of new players do this, is they just retreat. They just walk back or jump back or do whatever they need to do to get away from their opponent because they don't want to get hit. And what's important is to recognize when you have the advantage. Here, Vega has positional advantage by, you know, having Bison up against the wall. Bison can walk, he can't walk back any further. He can't jump back like Vega did to, you know, create space and just be safe, right?
So the name of the game is, if you get them into the corner, try to keep them there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to back up a little bit to give them a little space so you can pretend like you're going to let them out, and then you put them back in, but you don't want to run away and let them have the full screen to move out.
It's fine if you don't know what to do. It's fine if you don't know if you can or can't press something in that situation. But if you have the positional advantage and you feel like you need to defend, don't walk back, don't jump back, hold down back, block. Because that way you're getting that defense that you instinctually want, but you're not giving up, you know, your position. And here we see a reverse of the situation that just happened. But Bison, you know, was sort of keeping his pressure there. You know, he didn't back off. He ended up getting sweat, but he kept his pressure a little longer than Vega did.
He attempted to keep the corner control. It just didn't turn out too well.
Yeah, so here's the first, like, neutral jump after the sweep. Neutral jump punishes the throw attempt. So great, good jumping. But now Bison, you know, is ready for the second one. You know, it just happened. He's still in that, you know, mode, right? He's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and you do it again. Well, he's ready this time. So great, you get anti-aired, or air-to-aired in this case. Here's the second attempt. The last time Vega did this, the same thing happened. In this case, your opponent is literally telling you, okay, I'm gonna throw a rock, right? And in fighting games, you have to believe your opponent. If your opponent's, you know, you have to hear them out. If they're telling you they're gonna throw a rock, believe them, you know, until they don't, right?
So I have my notes here. I have only written down a little bit here. And as I was saying earlier, one of the bigger things was Spider Ninja only really did delay rise, didn't do any quick rises.
Yeah.
The lack of walking, except for only going backwards, and the flying Barcelona attack. And then actually, what I noticed is he didn't try to tech at all. No techs, no throws, either buttons, a lot of mash and crouch light punch, or sweep.
I wanted to talk about meaningful button presses. What I mean by meaningful button presses is every single time you press a button, it has to have a purpose.
You need a plan for your buttons. Otherwise, why even press them? Because if you're just gonna throw things into the wind, don't expect anything out of them when they hit. Yeah, and that's not right.
Yeah. So right here, this is an example of, you know, a non-meaningful button press. In this case, Vega tried to do his V skill, the held V skill, at a range in which the V skill would have not hit anyway, right? Bison was like over here on the left side of the screen. That would have not reached, right? And, you know, it just so happened that Bison jumped at that moment and punished it. So
unintentionally or
yeah, unintentionally, but he still got it, right? If Vega had not, you know, done something, especially such a long move, that locks you out of the game. Every single time you press a button, the character has to go through an animation. You're locking yourself out of the game during that animation, no matter how short or how long it might be. And fun fact about Bison, when you block the stump, you know, he does the bounce back. He can steer himself left or right. Here, he's steering himself right, and then he starts steering himself left again. This cannot side switch. So there is no danger of a cross-up here. If Bison is going this way, he can't do this hard punch, you know, behind you to cross up. He can only hit in front from the direction in which you block the stump. And
the ideal situation is to anti-air after the stomp, but a easy start is to just hold back in the direction that you block the stomp from.
One of the very first things we saw in the match is that we saw Bison do a lot of sweeps. And here's how you can practice punishing something like that. So in the training mode, you can go into the dummy settings tab. You can scroll over here in status all the way over to player recording, and you can actually have the dummy perform any action that you press, right? So I can have Bison do his sweep. Once you've recorded your action, you can go into playback and turn that action on. Once you've done that, the dummy will start doing the action that you recorded.
But Jojo, you should turn on frame data.
Oh yes, I
and
should.
inputs.
You're right, I
So
should
you know
turn
how
on
mine
frame
is
data
good.
and inputs. And here we can see that when I block this sweep, right here on the top, I am plus 12. I am plus 12. So what does plus 12 mean? Well, it means that Bison is stuck in that animation for 12 frames longer than I am stuck in block stun from having blocked that sweep. What that means is that I can punish Bison before he has any time to block with a move that starts up in 12 frames or less. Now, for most sweeps in the game, literally anything can punish them. Well, save, except for like a jump. Every sweep in the game, except for the really slow ones, which are like Bison, Sagat, Mika, you can counter sweep anyone in the game. You can counter sweep. Right? So that's one way to practice your punishes. Let's talk about practicing another kind of punish. Let's back up. Let's record Bison doing stomp. Right? And then let's record another one where he comes back. Alright. So the second you see Bison jump, you can jump with him and air to air. Vega's standing light punch, or jumping light punch rather, works. It goes straight forward. It's really good. I think another button that goes really well is his jumping medium kick. Yep. Honestly, the best thing you can do, and this goes more for some characters than others, the best thing you can do is just air to air with, or not air to air, you want to anti-air with something that has a good angle for it.
It seems as though Claw is not particularly great at having anti-airs.
Well, he does have one that I really like, but I haven't shown it yet. So yeah, this reaches pretty far. So let's try another one. How about that one? Quarterback hard punch. That's a really, really good anti-air with Vega. I love that one. Now, it doesn't have any upper body invincibility or anything, or airborne strike invincibility, but it reaches pretty far, and it's right above him. So because this reaches pretty far up, but it doesn't, it misses if Bison's right on top of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like right here. Right? It misses. So that works. That's a really, really good angle. I think this special is really underappreciated on Vega.
And specials are going to be harder to anti-air with compared to normals. So while it is an answer for this, it's not reliable in the sense of speed.
Ideally, you just want to get good at anti-airing with your fastest normal if it's available to you.
A quick demo on delayed quick rise. The actions you can take when you knock down are sort of manifold. You get the option to either what we would call quick rise, which is either you press down as you hit the ground and your character will get up faster. Alternatively, you could press 2 punches and that does the same effect. You probably usually have to mash it kind of a little bit because it's got an awful timing. There is the back rise, which is just double back when you hit the ground, or 2 kicks, and your character will get up a little bit later than the quick rise.
Yeah.
So the idea of choosing these rises as opposed to just not doing anything and laying on the ground is when your opponent has knocked you down, or if you've knocked someone down, you can additionally attack them as they are getting up. the only way you can sort of throw off their rhythm is changing the way that you get up off of the ground. Certain characters in certain situations will not be able to do anything if you get up in a certain fashion, or they'll choose the wrong option that beats one way but loses to another way, and they can't get additional pressure. So you generally, of the 3 rises, the quick, the back, or the delay rise, you pretty much want to choose one of the first 2 and rarely want to choose the latter.
Mm-hmm.
Important thing, don't stay on the ground.
Yeah.
Either quick rise or back rise, whatever one you want to try. Just do one of those majority of the time.
Yeah. How I put it is you almost always want to quick rise, you sometimes want to back rise, and you almost never want to delay rise. Uh-oh. I was trying to do a claw. That's really hard to do with a claw. Wow.
Hit me from behind? What is that? What is that?
That's
what
why
is
I
that?
like
What
it.
is
That's the reason why I like it. It has like no fucking iframes or
angle
anything.
is that?
I wish I knew how to play Vega, because right now I think we're just kind of showcasing that Vega sucks.
Yeah, that's no good.
Man, I wish I was better with that quarterback hard punch. It's so good. Look at that.
Yeah, what is that? What is that?
What is that? What is that? Is Vega secretly broken? Oh no.
No.
Oh yeah. That's just bad. That's always gonna be bad. Wow. Do you see how active that was?
Oh my god, man, these overheads.
Oh, that's too slow.
Ah!
Oh no! No, the V trigger! You're not supposed to know how to use it! Oh. Neither do I, apparently. Iframes! Please!
Oh, that ain't real.
No iframes! Oh no!
Oh yeah, look at that stun. Oh,
Oh
yeah.
no! Alright. I see you.
You lose.
That's right, and that's how you play Dictator.
And,
Oh wait, this is a video about Claw, wasn't it? Oh shit.
oh yeah, right? Yeah, I certainly, yeah, I certainly don't know how to play Claw, but I wish I did, because he certainly has answers, and we saw those. I mean, Jesus Christ, beating cross-ups with that fucking quarterback hard punch.
That's nonsense.
Yeah,
It's nonsense.
It's
Broken.
Yeah, it's broken.
Capcom nerf that. Got nerf that next patch.
Yeah, it's a nerf Vega to the ground.
Homework for the week is practice your quick and back rise. It's important to quick rise or back rise in most of the situations.
It's not something you consciously do. Once you learn it, it's secondhand. It's muscle memory, and that's what a lot of fighting games is. That's what combos are. That's what anti-airing becomes eventually, and that's definitely what quick rising is. And before I forget, please send in your replays. We need your replays. We're desperate. We need replays. Without your replays, this show doesn't exist. So please send them to nch.beginner.breakdowns@gmail.com. Thank you.